We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Nolan Hawkeye Anthony YouTube channel. And I thank all of you for being here, wherever you may be. And of course, however you may be listening. We have the game preview for you guys on deck, Iowa versus Rutgers. But before, we're going to talk a little bit of Iowa versus Nevada, what I saw, what was better, especially from the Iowa offense, and what we can expect between Iowa versus Rutgers. But before we get into any of that, I want to ask you guys to consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps your boy out a lot. Like, comment, share. If you want to donate to the channel, you can do so through the donation button on the channel. And without further ado, let's get into this. In the background, guys, I have the release depth chart here. Because I am recording this video a little bit later, I have this available for me right now. The bottom line is, with Iowa versus Nevada, what I saw, and I want to try and be fair here. The bottom line with that game is it was a totally wild game. Not for all of it, but definitely for some of it, the second half. We did see some improvement from the Iowa offense. If you're a Rutgers fan and you're not aware of what I'm talking about, there were several delays in the second half against Nevada, lightning delays. So it definitely made the game a little choppy, to say the least. The game finished, I think, at around 1 a.m. Central Time. And again, very, very choppy game. Iowa offensively looked a little bit better. Granted, it was against the Nevada Wolfpack, who gave up a lot of points to Incarnate Ward. So take it for what you will. When it came to Spencer Petras, he did some good things, but in my opinion, he also missed some passes as well. I always find it very interesting with the Iowa fan base. I think that by and large, the Iowa fan base is very honest, and they are the best fans in the world. But I always find there are the fans out there who go, "Oh, enough is enough. Stop being so negative on Spencer Petras." And in reality, all I said about Spencer Petras, and I think it was quite fair, is that he was not slinging it, as David Eichholt from 2-Force Hawkeye Insider stated. He missed, I counted 6 balls, and he almost missed on the touchdown pass to Arland Bruce, and it was a very average performance. I gave him a C for the game, and I think that is a very, very fair grade for Spencer Petras. I think some may have actually even given him a lower grade than that. There were some good things from the Iowa offense. However, before I hit that, the bottom line is, folks, with Spencer Petras, things look so miserably bad the 2 weeks prior that anything in the right direction that we saw from him, from some, was going to be seen as quote unquote slinging it, which again, in my opinion, that is just not what I saw. But from the Iowa offense, there was some improvement, primarily from the ground game and true freshman Caleb Johnson. He was given the kickoff returner duties after that performance, which I think is very smart by the Iowa Hawkeye coaching staff. He is simply too talented to keep off of the field. We'll see how many snaps are available to him when LaShawn Williams is back. Of course, he missed the previous game against Nevada as his father passed away, which is unfortunate. So I believe he will be back. What that leaves for Caleb Johnson, we'll see. Nonetheless, I think Caleb Johnson will be a very solid third string running back, if that's what he inevitably becomes for this Iowa Hawkeye team. So the ground game was a lot better from the previous 2 weeks. And I also did like that the Iowa Hawkeye coaching staff and Spencer Petras, I guess I can give him credit for this as well, took a few shots downfield. In the end, even if you don't connect, it's still worthy or worth the shots because it gets the defense on their heels. if you never test the defense, they're never going. They're going to oversell, and they are not going to play you honestly. You have to take shots downfield to make the defense, at the very least, wary of that possibility. So I like that, and I did like the play calling, as I said, from Brian Ferentz. I thought he ran some good plays, especially on the touchdown pass to Arland Bruce. It was a beautiful play call. And of course, last but not least, from the Iowa versus Nevada game, the defense it's elite, and it's going to be elite for the foreseeable future, at the very least this season, which is why I believe that Iowa is always going to be in every single game here moving forward, regardless of the offense. The defense is just so good, which again gives me a little faith and hope in this Iowa team outside of the offense, how the offense is doing. Because if you can't score on a team, it doesn't really matter necessarily what the offense does. So, but again, would I prefer that the Iowa offense gets it together? Sure. But I'm just giving credit to the defense. The defense played phenomenal, simply phenomenal. Jack Campbell, Cooper DeJean, everybody played. Lucas Van Ness all played great. All right, moving forward to Iowa versus Rutgers here. ESPN Power Index gives Iowa a 56.7% chance of beating the Scarlet Knights, who are, of course, 3-0 going into this game against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa opens as 7.5-point favorites against the Scarlet Knights. Let's look at the team stats here. Iowa is only averaging 13.7 points per game of offense compared to Rutgers, 34.7 points allowed per game, 4.3 to 14. So not a bad defense from Rutgers. Total yard passing 125.3 to 142, total rushing 92.3, 227.3. Yards allowed, 194.7 to 240.3. Passing yards, 117.7 to 208. And rushing yards allowed, 77 to 32.3. The last three games for Rutgers have been against Boston College, which is a decent win. It's a Power 5 school from the ACC, Rutgers' old stopping grounds. Wagner, I believe that's who this is, which, not really a big deal there. And Temple, that's not a terrible victory either for Rutgers. Greg Schiano is, of course, back at it again. So there's definitely, some interesting aspects to this game, but those are the statistical comparisons, comps, as it were, as well as the last three games that both teams have played, and the betting lines of Iowa for the Iowa versus Rutgers game. Here is Iowa's Pro Football Focus grades for the past three games. Here, let me pull this up. As you guys can see here, South Dakota State, Iowa State, Nevada. Here are their overall grades, their offensive grades: pass blocking, receiving, run, and every stat is below average except for one time against Nevada on the run game with a grade of a 72.7 for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Not great. The passing grade against Nevada, as I said, and I'm not surprised this is what it is, was a measly 53.5. That has got to improve. Here are Rutgers team grade here. Not bad. I mean, their best game obviously was against Wagner. All green. If you don't know, green is good. Good colors there. Temple, they had some below average numbers. Their run game has been above average to above average each of the three games. 66.8, 73.6, and 71. Let's go down here a little bit more and see the run blocking and things like that. Run blocking, 82.7, 73.2, 52.5. Not bad. Run defense has been phenomenal. 82.9, 94.6, 91.2. Very good. Here are the other grades as well. Coverage, pass rush, special teams. If you want to check that out, just go ahead and pause the video right here. Here are the quarterback individual grades of the Rutgers quarterback and Iowa quarterback. Let me see here if I can scroll that down. That's kind of brutal there. Let me see. Let me see if I can change this a little bit. I don't know why it's not letting me scroll down here. Again, you guys can probably go and check this out. I'm just trying to give you guys the availability here. I pulled up Spencer Petrus's grade here. As you guys can see here, just abysmal numbers against South Dakota State, a little bit better against Iowa State. I'm not sure why the key is not letting me scroll down. Nonetheless, these are his grades so far for the season. 2022, he has a passing grade of a 41.1, run grade of 52. Just not great. That obviously has to improve. I'll go back here so that the Rutgers fans can see their quarterback. Evan Simon is likely to be the quarterback for Rutgers. He has some pretty good grades. 69.6, 66, an offensive grade of 69.6, passing grade of a 66, and a run grade of a 65.4. Not bad at all. Here are the wide receiver grades. I'm not going to show all the positions, guys. It's just going to take too much of the video. These are both Rutgers and Iowa. You guys can see there. This is the top one is Nazir Montgomery. He's probably the highest graded wide receiver for Rutgers. Chris Long, Isaiah Washington, Taj Harris, all graded higher than Iowa's receivers. Nico Reganey has been back against Nevada. He should be back moving forward. Arland Bruce, you guys can see there. Not bad. He has Arland Bruce, let's see here, has a grade of a 64.3 overall and a receiving grade of a 66.4, a 64. Not terrible. Nico Reganey. Brody Brecht has a grade. He is the highlighted here of a 66.7 in the drop back, receiving 54.9 and offensive grade of a 54.9. Jack Johnson, who's the highlighted here, has a receiving grade of a 53.8. Again, not sure why this is not letting me scroll down. It is what it is. If you guys want to go and check out the wide receivers, you guys can do that. Those are the grades for the wide receivers there. Here are the grades of the tight ends. Victor Kanopka has a pretty good grade of an 80.6. He's the highlighted. Those are his other grades there. Sam Laporta. I'm shocked Sam Laporta has a grade of a 55.1. That is low, especially for him. So hopefully we see some improvement from Sam Laporta. Iowa needs him badly. Nonetheless, those are the Luke Lachey, 53.9. That definitely needs to improve. Those are the tight ends. Here are the grades for the interior offensive line, outside offensive line, tight end, and running back. Rutgers has some nicely graded guys. JD DiRenzo, Mike Ciafani. They always have these Italian guys. Kyle Managal, all really good grades. Tyler Ellsbury has a nice grade of a 75.3. That's a really good grade. Run block 73.4 and pass block of an 81.6. Jack Plum, he's the highlighted here, 54.7 overall. Run block 46.7, pass block 81.2. Let's see if I can scroll down. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. Nick DeJong is right here. He is the highlighted. He has an overall grade of a 58.2, 61.8 pass block, and 64.2 run block. Jennings Dunker right here, 55.2 overall, 53.8 and 58.6. Let me see if I can find Logan Jones, the center. He definitely has some work to do. He has a grade of a 51 with a run block of 53 and a pass block of 41.8. He is definitely experiencing some growing pains. Connor Colby, has definitely seen better days as well. That's his grade. Bo Stevens is the next one highlighted here. So the Iowa offensive line, guys, one would think they only have, but to go up. So one would hope. One would hope. Last but not least, we have the defensive grades. You guys can see all the guys here. Jack Campbell highlighted. He has a grade of an 84.3. Cooper DeJean has a grade of an 83.7. Quinn Schultz, 80.6. Joe Evans, 80.5. Lucas Van Ness, 80.3. Shaquan Loyal of Rutgers has a massive grade of a 90.9. That is incredible. Aaron Lewis has a grade of an 85.4. I'm going to keep this in the background as I give my final analysis and prediction for this game. Like I said, you guys can go and check these grades out yourself. I just wanted to give you guys a little peek under the hood and offer you guys some good value here. The bottom line is Iowa is favored in this game, probably for a reason. I think a lot of people think that the Iowa offense can only go up from here. I don't think a lot of people necessarily respect Rutgers right now or the teams that they have played, although in my opinion, Boston College and Temple are not terrible opponents. When you look at Rutgers, they have definitely got it going on the ground. They're fairly balanced, but the run game for Rutgers has been great. I'm going to toggle this over here. 227.3 yards of rushing on average and 369 yards overall. That's phenomenal. Now, on the flip side, Iowa's defense and running defense is great as well. I think that is going to be the matchup on, Rutgers offense versus Iowa's defense is, just run O versus run D. I would put my faith more in the Iowa Hawkeye defense, but time will tell. Nonetheless, Rutgers very good rushing attack. And as an Iowa fan, that is something to keep an eye out for. As for the Iowa Hawkeyes, I think, again, most people believe that all they can go is up from here offensively. It can't get much worse than what we have seen. I did like what I saw last week, especially with the play calling, and I did like what I saw on the ground. I think if Iowa can find a way to muster 100 yards on the ground each game, between 90 and 120, I know that's 30 yards, they'll be in good shape. As the running O goes this Iowa Hawkeye offense overall. I don't think Spencer Petras is ever going to become a world beater at quarterback. I think he is average at this point. And really, I just hope for him to hit on a few passes and not turn the ball over. That's really what I expect from him at this point. And maybe, not take too many sacks each game. The main hope for this Iowa offense is in the run game. I do think Iowa has options at wide receiver, and I've said that from the get-go in Keegan Johnson, Nico Organi, who's been there for a long time, Arlen Bruce, Brody Breck, Jack Johnson. I think there's options, guys. I really do. But it's a question of, can the guy getting them the football, can he get it? This is going to be the first true road game for the Iowa Hawkeyes this season. That'll be something to monitor. Traveling several hours to get to Rutgers and play the Scarlet Knights. Overall, I think Iowa is the more talented team. I think their defense is better than Rutgers' offense. And I do think Iowa is going to be able to score some points on this Rutgers defense, whereas I do think the Rutgers offense is going to struggle to score on this Iowa Hawkeye defense. Hopefully I didn't mess that up there. So I am going to take the Iowa Hawkeyes to win this game 23-15. I think it'll be closer yet again than it needs to be. I think we see some good things offensively and some bad things yet again. I think the run game will continue in a positive direction. Pass game, not so much. And yet again, the Iowa Hawkeye defense will get it done. Again, 23-15, Iowa Hawkeyes win this game over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And realistically, this is a game that Iowa has to win. You cannot lose a game to a what would be considered a low bottom tier. Even if Rutgers is on the rise, you cannot lose a cross division game against a team like Rutgers. Ohio State, Michigan, that's one thing, but losing to Rutgers is quite another. With that being said, I do think Rutgers is moving in a decent direction. I'm not saying that they are ready for the prime time yet, but I do think they are moving in a decent direction. All right, guys, again, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share. You know the drill. You guys can donate to the channel, help your boy's coffee habit by just clicking the money sign on the channel. I have been the previous video I cut up and cut probably 3 minutes of the video, and I am going to try and do that here moving forward so that each video is much crisper and cleaner for you guys, and it's just a better overall experience. All right, guys, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow. In facts or feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. Love you guys. See you guys next time. Go Hawks.